Oh yeah, it's one of those days, y'all. Savage AF. Can you? Oh, sorry. Here I am. Hi guys. Is there anybody there? Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Let's just do this real quick. All right, y'all. Got one in the building. Oh, cheers to you. Savage AF, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter. I'm your good friend, Black Pedro. Remember me? Grew up together. I was the one with the gap. I still got it. Um, forget your feelings. Facts matter. I'll be cussing in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. But until then, guys, just know that Savage AF is here for you as an entity, as a show. Typically Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically. And typically on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. Although sometimes we do get an occasional flag or a potential, jailing, what do you call it, a restraining order. A couple of these platforms have taken out against us, but whatever. Some of you might be looking at for the first time. You only see one guy on the screen, and you're like, "Who is this us?" Pedro keeps talking about. I usually have a partner to my virtual right, the homie Big Shang, comedian extraordinaire. He is not here today. I got that notification a few hours ago. So we're riding on what we call a Dro solo edition. Okay. Like I said, guys, we're typically here for you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. YouTube and Facebook Live. If you ever miss us live, use a junkie, a crack monkey, do that dance that's funky. I don't know why I said that, but honestly, it's your fault though. But I get it. Life happens. Okay, whatever. And you have to miss us live. If you ever do, man, it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Catch it, catch it, catch. Oh wait, here comes another one. Catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it. YouTube.com/C/SavageAF World, all one word. We have all the episodes archived there. So if you ever miss us live, you can turn your whole life around. Some of you, like I said, may live like us. Cheers to you. Maybe you get an occasional flagging, maybe a lifetime ban. Okay, you can't use YouTube, right? They put you off for that thing you said back in '07, right? Hey, that was your fault. Here's the thing: some of your videos should be private. But other than that, let's say you're YouTube averse for whatever reason, you can find us on Facebook, Savage A.F. Okay, you want a dot between the A and the F, and then after the F, Savage A.F. That'll get you to us on Facebook. Man, share that, like that. Let me see. Do all these fancy things that on YouTube. Ding, ding. And then make sure that you're always giving us that cool thumbs up. That blue thumb for everyone. Yeah, man. And oh, yeah, the most important thing in life right now, the only thing that keeps comedians afloat, other than an occasional joke here and there, Instagram. It's so important. I don't even have time to say it the whole word. So I just call it the IG, the gram, however you want to moniker that site. But Instagram at Black Pedro, at comedian Shang. Even though he is absent today, he is with us in spirit. Speaking of spirits, all right, just like Mama used to make. Okay, I think the business is out of the way. You know how I do on a drill solo edition, man. I kind of skip to my do. We ain't gonna be here too long. But for those who are here with me, I truly appreciate you, sexy Puerto Rican. I see you. I see you, mamacita. AJ Fit, what up, though, bro? I see you, man. Bronda, what's good with you? And Angel, what's going on, baby? You good? What's good? Damani Jones, I see you. Antoine, what up? ZNet, Miss No Slick Name, Breezy. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Thank you. That's gonna be a quickie Ricky today. No need to do a Black Pedro pop in or whatever. I'm popped. I'm in. This is it today. Okay. Um, so that being said, man, just a couple things I wanted to talk about. It is Monday. Oh, we passed that threshold. Savage AF. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. Black Pedro. Sometimes comedian Shane. He's not here today. But Yeah, man. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. It's Monday, March 27th, 2023, in the time space continuum. We are going to end today's show with a motherfucker say what? You know, that critical question that we ask on the regular. Motherfucker say what? And I'll save that as a tidbit, a morsel, a tender, flavoring, a tasting, for you to catch at the end. So stick with us. And there I go with the us, and it's just me. My doctor be saying I need medication for that, but I'm like, fuck you. I'm joking. I can't afford a doctor. All right. But we are going to start off today's show. It's just one of those things, man. Just, if you're an immigrant and you're just tuning into this show, welcome to America, where we start off most weeks and then get a couple more in by the end of it. But we do start off most weeks with a good old school shooting, the good old, let's get a couple of AR rifles or assault rifles, I should say, ARs, and a handgun or two if necessary, perhaps some grenades if you can get your hands on them. If you haven't blown up your hands, let's get a heavy arsenal. Go down to the local elementary school and shoot up a bunch of innocent children, and that's what we saw today occurring. Um, Sorry, I'm blanking on the city that quickly, just because they all seem to blend together. Oh, Nashville. Sorry, Nashville, Tennessee. And Fortunately, their police department, and unfortunately, was prepared to respond fairly quickly, but not before the shooter was able to kill 6 people. And what we just learned is 3 9-year-olds, babies, and 3 60-year-olds, which is still, in the span of our life, relatively young. I mean, you 60 years old, you could have a smooth 20 years left. You know what I'm saying? If you're living right. But this happened at a school inside of that is housed inside of a church. So it's a combo deal, a church and a school shooting all at once. Um, if you're going to shoot up someplace, nobody ever goes to shoot up the gun range, right? Like, just that doesn't make sense. But they always pick these soft locations, churches, schools, grocery store, things like that, right? Um, but Here is the hook to this story, as used to hearing them as we are. That this time we are dealing with, while they are, and I do like to point this out, a white person. This time we have a Karen. Karen's got a gun. Um, AJ Fitz said 20 medicated years left. Hey, brother, however you get them last 20 years, it's up to, whatever. But like I said, you can live right. I mean, you might not be lifting moose anymore, a cracking bovine next, but I'm sure you'll still be in these streets, 70, 75, 80. Um, but yeah, man, the shooter was white, but also a female, a woman, a white woman, which is atypical to the white mass shooter story. In fact, I heard a statistic on the news that this is the fourth female shooter, mass shooter, since 1966. But that's almost 60 years. Am I tripping? Right. That's almost 60 years. What are we talking about? 57 years. Um, so it is not a common thing to see a woman. I mean, yeah, it's not a common thing. Sorry, to see a woman take up arms like this and commit a mass shooting in this way. And by the way, she was armed with two assault rifles and a handgun, and seemed to be heavily armed. It also seems as though she used to be a former student there. She's 28 years old, and this is a school that goes from kindergarten. I'm sorry, I think pre-K to sixth grade. But I know sixth grade is the max at that school. So I mean, as a 28-year-old woman who used to be a student at that school, whatever beef she had with that school has been stewing for, I don't know. What are you in sixth grade? 12 years old? 16 years? She's been harboring something there. I don't know. But yeah, so seems to be a former student, 28 years old, white woman, two assault rifles, and plenty of magazines, it seems. Breezy JJ said, "We still dealing with freaking Karens." Now this is a different breed. This is armed Karen. As more and more is coming out, it seems like this is something that she planned for a while. And AJ does point out that Karens have been here, just got a nickname during COVID. You know, we all came up with that collective, kind of accepted that collective moniker. But yeah, I'm sure they were called, I don't know, way back in the day, Helens or Elizabeths or something like that, But yeah, yes, AJ, they have always been here, those Karens. So not only does this speak to the Karen issue, um, and while I don't know, we haven't found out if we ever will her total motivation for doing such a thing. But again, it obviously speaks to dun, 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 our gun law issues, our Second Amendment issues, right? Like the more and more this happens, the more and more I'm like, you know what? Not every American has the right to to a gun, to weapons. Because not every American has the right to drive, right? Like they always told us as teens growing up that driving is a privilege, not a right. Well, how the fuck is not if driving in projectile metal, a car that weighs like 2,000 pounds is not a right, then how the fuck is projecting metal, at 2,000 miles an hour or whatever, however fast the bullet travels? Um, how is that a right? Because that seems extremely more dangerous, or at least equally as dangerous as driving a car. So yeah, I'm starting to get well, I'm not even starting to. I'm there. Fuck it. I'm there. And not every American. I think I've been here for a while, but maybe I've never quite expressed it like this. But you know, fuck the Second Amendment. And I'm a gun owner. Y'all know me, but not everybody has the right to own a gun. And this is clear. These mass shootings prove it more and more every day. I'm not saying nobody does. I'm not saying everybody I'm not saying everybody turned in their guns, but some of these motherfuckers should not have a gun. Obviously, Sister Karen should not have had a gun. I don't know what the fuck her problem was with the school. Now she got touched or something. Hey, that's a whole other set of issues. But and I'm sure many of us have had feelings that have made us think that we want to go and shoot up somebody or someplace, right? And just it gets in there, but don't let it out. Talk to your therapist or something. Roll up a blunt, but don't go shoot up a place. That's never the answer. but we make it easy for people to do. And the reality is that while the Nashville Police Department was as prepared as a department can be for things such as this, and by the way, this church school had no no on-site guard or officer or anything like that. But as swift and by the book as the response was, and by the way, the police arrived on the scene, encountered this female shooter and took her out and killed her. So she did, and so we'll never quite hear from her mouth what this is about, but it seems she may have left some evidence behind, notes, posts, things like that. Who knows? Um, but sorry, to get to my main point, as great as the response by this police department was, Uvalde, pay attention. Um, you never once a person like this is able to gain access to these grounds, to a building like this, with soft targets like this, there's just no response that's going to be quick enough. And that's why this assault rifle issue is an issue, um, is that it just makes it too easy for the wrong person. We as a country make it too easy for people who are mentally deficient or disturbed, or however we want to put that, but should just, the bottom line, should not have a gun. We make it too easy for them to get not just guns, but assault rifles, automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons that allow you to kill a lot of people quickly. Were intended for war and not for the grocery store. Um, yeah, AJ, back in the day, Helen, I'm sure was a very popular name, right? I'm sure there were brothers walking up there. Helly Hell, what's up, girl? You looking like Halle Berry over in this bitch. Look at Helen. Helen. Yeah. It's a tough name to scream out in bed though, or whatever, but you know. The hell yeah. Helen, yeah. Helen, yeah. Sorry. That's sidetrack. Whoa, pay attention. But yeah, man. And Missing No Slick Name says it's about time they handled a mass shooter, but have they ever shot a male mass shooter? I believe so. Yeah, yeah. Other shooters have been taken out. I mean, I think there are situations where some of these, mostly guys, are looking to commit what they call suicide by cop. So they just don't surrender. But some of these guys have surrendered, um, or been wounded and then taken down. But um, they other shooters have been taken out. Now I don't have statistics about you know um, the number of male men taken out versus the number of women or black or white or anything like that. But being that the majority of these cases are white men, um, you know, I, I just generalize it and say it's probably 50-50 in terms of whether they get taken out or taken alive, I should say. Um, yeah, no, I feel you, Miss No Slick Name. I know what you were getting at there, but again, I will emphasize that according to the stat I heard, that this is only the fourth woman to do something like this since 1966. So, you know, it'd be a tough comparison to even make statistically because there just aren't enough data points for women doing this. She's an anomaly in that sense, but not in the sense of just crazy motherfuckers with access to not just weapons but the most destructive type, and that's ultimately and the American issue that we need to address as a society when it comes to mass murder. Right? There are other issues in our society, hello, that we need to address. But this is a kind of a separate one that affects or can affect any of us, right? Because the reality is, whether you're black, white, brown, Puerto Rican, Haitian, whatever, um, you know, in America, we really don't know where these next things are going to pop up. Like I said, this is a combo church and school shooting at the same goddamn time. And if you can't put a church in or put a school inside of a church and have your child be safe, then good God, man, where are they supposed to be safe, right? You see at grocery stores, at dance halls, nightclubs, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like, you don't know. So it really is an issue outside of color, although the shooters seem to fit a very narrow profile. And that's why I'm watching you, white guys. I'm watching all y'all. Yeah. Stewart. But the effect that it can have on our society really has no um, racial or even economic bounds. You know what I mean? Like it could have a festival in Vegas. It could be rich people, poor people, there, middle class, whatever. So, hey, Lady Hazel May, you little late girl. I need 10 jumping jacks. Put it on TikTok. AJ Fitz said American citizens have the most firearms, more than any other country, out of 263 others. Yeah, I mean, it's a problematic part of our society. I think Scotland. I saw a stat that Scotland had a school shooting in which 16 like children were killed, and they very quickly put a lockdown on the assault weapons like that, and since then have had zero. And this is like over 30 years now. You know what I mean? So there's a correlation, but we're a capitalist pig society. So as long as the gun lobby has that dough, as long as every other show is, a shoot 'em up, bang bang. And I'm going to go see John Wick 4, but that's the American tale. Really is guy with a gun solves all problems. That's right, good guy with a gun solves all problems. Even though he really used to be an assassin. Um, Let me see. Super stud from hell says, "Why do people become mass shooters? This shit was not happening in the '80s." I really can't truly answer that other than I do believe. I just brought up the shoot 'em up, bang bang, man with a gun solves a good guy with a gun solves all problems. That that's been a message for a long time in the American psyche, back to the westerns. You know what I mean? Lone gunman comes into town and cleans up all the corruption. Sheriff was involved. Nobody, corrupt government. It just takes a guy with a gun. It really is a message that we push out a lot in American entertainment. So I don't take I don't say that lightly. Although it may sound like I'm in jest. It is both a liminal and a subliminal message. It's overt and covert, and it's all the way through our society. And you combine that message, super stud from hell, with access to guns to actually live out some of these fantasies. And hey, welcome to America now. Because you're right, there weren't these shootings like this in the '80s, like that, in the '90s even. In '90s, school shootings in my city were, like drug or hood related or something like that, but it wasn't like the motherfuckers made fun of my shoes. Everybody got to die. You know what I mean? Like there's something where like a large percentage of our society, or far too large, has snapped. And also has weapons that they can snap back at society. And they were talking about, you know, whether or not this woman had a legitimate or a perceived gripe with this school that she shot up. And that's the thing. And some people may have you may have had some teacher or somebody molested you there, and you tried to tell, and they didn't come in, and it fucked your life up, and you come back and you snap. But some people just are just out their fucking mind and have these perceived notions of things, and in either case, neither of those people should have guns. It's just the bottom line. So, super stuff from hell. I don't know exactly why people become mass shooters, but I do know that our society says you need a gun, and if you're a good guy with a gun, you can solve all the problems, right? Because there's corruption everywhere. And who else is going to solve it except for John Wick or the shooter or motherfucking Jack Ryan? You know what I mean? We don't get too many black dudes with a gun saving the world. Just Wesley Snipes and everything he's done, I guess. And then the nigga didn't pay his taxes, and look what they did. See. hmm So that's what it is. Of course, we'll hear more about this. And then we'll very quickly have to switch gears to the next shooting, whether it's at a school or just some other public location. But, this is America. And until our legislators get out of the asses of, or actually need to get in the asses of the gun lobby and get them out of their asses, that's it. Okay, sexy Puerto Rican, thank you. The equalizer. Good black guy with a gun. Denzel, yeah, he's done a few. What was the other one? Where he was the man on fire. There you go. Just got to save Dakota Fanning, dog. That nigga was willing to do anything. Plus, it was his job. Kind of gotta keep your job. But yes, the equalizer. But yeah, I mean, America tells that tale. Get a gun, go solve the problem, and that's what it is. Savage AF, man, fuck your feelings, facts matter. I'm gonna keep it pushing. This is a Dro solo edition. I'm your boy Black Pedro. Shang should be back at us tomorrow, man. You know what it is. Lady Hazel May going back. She dusted off her TV guide next to her vinyl covered couch. It was like Hawk. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see what you did. I see what you did. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, and Idris Elba does AJ Fit. He's a dope villain. He's just a dope actor. He's not a black actor though. No longer a black actor, just a thespian. Not a lesbian. All right. Lady Hazel May dusting off that TV guide. I see you, girl. You know they have a website now, right? I'm sure there's an app. It's all good. It's all good. She's like, this is vintage. She got it in the Ziploc bag. I know what you did, girl. All right, man. Speaking of violent women, I saw some shit this weekend that truly inside my mind and almost out loud made me say,
motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, listen, y'all. I'm always looking for something new to watch. Was flipping through, the guides were looking a little dry. I was like, oh man, this is not what we want right here. But ran up on Amazon Prime this joint called Swarm. It's like produced, created by your boy Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. And maybe we'll blame him for giving white people woke. The song "I Stay Woke." Maybe that just put it out there in the ether for white people to appropriate, definitely misappropriate. But anyways, the boy good, boy a genius. You know what I'm saying? ATL. Good actor, musician. comedian, all that, right? So boy got talent. So I sat down and watched it, man, and it really it was one of those things where I did not know what I was about to get into, what I was watching, and very quickly was like, "What the fuck is this?" But first of all, you know, I don't want to spoil too much for y'all, but make some noise out there in the comment section if you have seen Swarm on Amazon Prime. It's a Donald Glover project. He's not in it, but he's on the backside, the creative side. Um, but it's it is fiction based on reality, and it's basically about this female serial killer who is an overly passionate fan of a character who is obviously Beyonce or meant to be. But they go through lengths to um, both kind of I think both kind of show that it is about her and her fans, not her, sorry, not her, but really more about her fans, the hive. Get it? Swarm, bees, hive, swarm. But the superstar in this one is called Nija. Um, okay, Lady Hazel, then I don't want to ruin for you. D Nelly Radio, I see you, boy. What's good, man? What's good out there, man? Thanks for checking. This is Dro Solo edition. Your boy Shank is delinquent today. Clearing up some tickets or on the run from the cops. Something about a drug charge in New Mexico. I don't know. Miss No Slick, you saw it. I'd love to hear what you think about it, but it was this idea of kind of black women falling through the cracks, or and just women in general falling through the cracks, especially in this area. But again, it's not totally true story, but the murders that occur in it are based on uh, kind of real life murders that occurred, and I just thought it was interesting. I was going to talk about the show anyways because it was like this interesting story about a female who's a serial killer for no good goddamn reason. If there was a good reason to be a serial killer, she definitely did not have one. Um, and but it was commentary on how like Beyonce's fans, the Beehive, react to protect her sometimes. So I was like in this world of like, wait, does Beyonce have some serial killer fan out there that's like, bludgeoning people or whatever the fuck? But so it's not quite that, but it is this idea of like, that while men mostly have a market on violence, there are some women who have bought in, what I'm saying, who are all in on bash a nigga's head and shoot a motherfucker up. And I think we that it's not something we talk about because like we saw, and that was the other thing. I was gonna talk about this and was just kind of in this idea of like, oh man, we gotta check on these ladies too to make sure that, they're not flipping out and ready to, drown all their babies or, kill four people. So I was already in the space to talk about that, and then woke up this morning to a female mass shooter who done shot three babies and three grandparents and shit for no good goddamn reason. So there's something in the water. So I guess I say this to say, and we always have a decent number of ladies in the building here at Savage AF. So I just wanted to check on y'all. Sexy Puerto Rican. I know you're sexy, but you're also Puerto Rican. So if you feel like stabbing somebody, come talk to Savage AF first. Lady Hazel May, I know you're good. You like to see the life leave out of their eyes. You want to feel the breath. She's a choker. I know this. So come talk to your boy. Maybe not Shane, because he'll, he got Uncle Stabby tendencies and things like that. I can't. My pressure gets up every now and then. I feel you. But that being said, I try and keep it calm and zen. Miss No Slick Name, I know you quick to cut a motherfucker. I know you are. She stay with a blade on her. You know what I'm saying? That's the slick part. So before y'all get to drawing blood, Breezy JJ's, she's more of a poison over time type thing. You know what I mean? She'll sit back and watch you die slow. That's kind of how she was built. Um, but yeah, Miss No Sugar, you didn't know what you was getting into when you watched Swarm. And I really love watching stuff in that way sometimes, where it's just like I don't know anything about it. Let me just see what it is, and then the surprise of it all. But it did kind of heighten my awareness that there are women in the society who are struggling with their mental health in a way that could manifest into mass violence, and then you wake up today and that shit manifested. So like I said, ladies, talk to your boy before you get to stabbing or bludgeoning or chopping up body parts. Yeah, the lead actress, I can't remember her name. Her last name is Fishback, I believe, but I can't remember her first name. My first time seeing her, but a project worth watching. Uh, Krista Moreno Doran says, "Hey, hey, not all Puerto Rican women stab." Listen, I didn't mean to generalize. I know you like to use a good tire iron, out the trunk because it's in the trunk, and technically the cops can't label it a weapon because it came with the car as part of your toolkit. So I know you're more into direct contact to the forehead, Krista. So I didn't mean to minimize your preferred violence. So to each their own. I just know that sexy Puerto Ricans, she more and with her it's not about stabbing, it's more about the machete. She likes the way the blade sounds in the wind. That she likes to hear that right before it cuts to the white meat. My point is, some of y'all out your goddamn mind, and before you take it out on me or anybody else around you, talk to your boy, talk to a therapist, talk to somebody professionally. But we got to work to. Obviously, white guys need help. Okay, that's well been established. But some of you ladies out there, you're struggling too, and I think we're overlooking that. And I want to say I'm here for you. Okay, just put the hammer down. Okay, where you get that saw from, girl. Right? Who gave you a blowtorch? Put that down. Stop playing. And let's talk about it before we get into the violence, y'all. Savage AF, man. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. That's your Dro solo edition for today. I'm gonna leave you on that note. A high note. Ladies, don't kill nobody. Leave that to men. I'm gonna work on that slogan for tomorrow. In the meantime, guys, stay black if you are. Do not be black if you're not. Most importantly, well, honestly, if you're gonna kill somebody, then yeah, just I'd rather you stick your finger in your nose. But as long as you're not in a killing mood, keep your goddamn finger out your goddamn nose.